let's discuss about break and continue statements. Meaning of break statement is if it get executed within a program that is supposed to be inside a loop, so then it would break that loop and come out of that loop. So let's say you have a while and some condition, and it's going inside, it had some code lines. If there is a break statement somewhere, so, right, and there are like few more code lines, if the condition is satisfied, it would execute code line 1 and then it would execute the line 2, but and then like before when it comes to break, it would be exiting out of this loop. It would no more like continue in this loop, it would come out of this loop, so these lines wouldn't be executed, right? So this is as good as like not having these lines during that time. We would have this break like in case of some condition, then only we do break, like not like always. If there is break every time, then just like in a while, if there is a break, then no need to write these code lines because it wouldn't execute. So, but it would be like you have some other condition and it would be checking some other condition too, and if this condition is satisfied, it is going to execute this break. If not, then it would execute the rest of the lines. So this is usually the way like we use break statements. First, if condition is satisfied, it would run code line 1 and code line 2, and then it would check if condition 2 is satisfied. So let's say it's not satisfied, so it wouldn't go inside this if condition, so it would go to the next line, so where it is code line 3 and code line 4, these would get executed, and again it would come and check condition once the code line 1, code line 2, and then if condition 2 is satisfied, and then it would execute break. So in that case, it wouldn't execute these things, so it would come out of this loop and then execute lines of code outside this loop. So let's see an example of doing that. So I'll use while because this is easy even to understand in case of break and like continue statements. So we can also use the other, like that was not a problem. So I am going to give one infinite loop. So why I call it infinite loop is because like the condition place I have written true. So true is always like, it means the condition is satisfied, right? So it would if the condition is satisfied, it would return true. So I'm directly giving true, so this condition would always be satisfying. Like inside, let's say I'm having some I value equal to 0, and inside I'll be incrementing I, and before incrementing I'll be printing the value. If we run it actually, so this is going to run infinitely, because from I equal to 0 it would start, I equal to 1, I equal to 2, I equal to 0 it would print, then I equal to 1, and then true, again I equal to 1, it would print I equal to it, I will be incremented to 2, then condition is satisfied, so on. Like it doesn't end anywhere. So let's see once running it. So it has jumped quite a long time, it would actually crash. So let me quickly stop it because it's not going to end. From here I have selected this interrupt the execution, so it would break this. So that is the only way I can stop it, or else it would go into lags this way. So here we have given this interrupt, so that's the reason actually it stopped, or else it wouldn't stop, it would go like this. So but let's say you don't want it to go infinitely and you want to stop it at some point. Let's say you break it after I equal to I is greater than 100. I'll be giving it here, it can be anywhere. If I greater than 100, I would be breaking it. I is greater than 100 as per what we discussed earlier. So let's say it would continue from 0, it will continue 1, 2, 3, so on, it would print. And once I is greater than 100, it would break. Once it is 101, it wouldn't print this value, I value equal to 101. This should not get printed. So it should break and come out of the loop. And let me also give print, and I would print the I value. So let's see at what point loop has ended. You see it has started from 0 and it has printed, see, like it has printed 100 and then loop ended at 101. When I true, I equal to 0, so on, when the value is 100 till that point it went, and I value is like 100 plus 1, which is 101, and comes here, true, this condition is satisfied, goes here. So if I 100 101, right, I is 101 greater than 100, that is true, so it would break, so it would come out of here, so it wouldn't print this I value as 101 here, so it would come out, and now it would execute this. So the loop ended at and 101. So that is what we have seen here as well, right? So this is one example where we can use loop. Similarly, we can do the same in for loop as well. So just like I in range 0, 10, let me give a smaller numbers, and if I greater than 5, you can break it. It need not be only for infinite loops, it can be for any. The value of I is okay, so let's print it. See, from 0 it has went till 5. Once it is greater than 5, when I equal to 6, then it has break the loop and it has come outside. So this is the way, like same way in both the cases, it is same way like how it is done in while or somewhere, like you usually put a condition and then break. Let's see about continue statement. So continue statement is also a similar way of representation like in break statement. It would be used in loops. Break has stopped like going into that loop. If it is continue, it would skip that iteration of a loop. Okay, so let's see while code line 1, code line 2, and then after few lines of code we have this continue. So and similarly you have code lines like few other code lines 3 and 4 down, and then you have few code lines outside as well. In this case again, like same way, if condition is satisfied, line 1 is executed, line 2 is executed, and once continue is executed, so it would not execute the lines in that iteration, and it will go again to the condition. So it is again as good as like removing this line. So this is a little different from the break. So break, once the break is executed, it would no more be part of that continue loop. So it would no more be part of that loop. So it would completely come out of that loop. But continue is not that case. So continue, once it is going into continue, it would just skip the lines within that loop which are below that, and it would again go to the check for condition. We usually like continue won't be given at this level. We keep some other condition. So like if some other condition 2 is satisfied, only then continue. It means like it would run in the loop, and once like condition 2 is satisfied, so in that iteration it would come here again. So it would not execute 2 and 3 lines for that particular loop, so for that particular iteration. So and once maybe the condition is no more satisfying, it would come out of this while loop and it would execute these lines of code. So let's see like with an example. So here I am not giving any infinite loop because this doesn't break the loop, right? Previously I gave infinite loop because I know that like that can, if that condition is satisfied, it can break the loop. But here it would just continue again, like it would skip that iteration. So no, I'm not going to give any infinite loop. Check if while I less than 10, and while I less than 10 I would be printing some numbers, and inside I would be doing anyway increment. So this is usual way, like it would print like from 0 till 9. So now like if I want to use a condition continue here, so for this continue, let's say I will be using in the beginning, and if I equal to 5, I want to give a continue here, or maybe give one more condition. It need not be a single condition. I equal to 7, again I would be giving continue. When I is 5 or 7, it would not execute these lines of code this way. So now what would happen? So every time I am incrementing the I, and when I is equal to 5 or 7, it would not print and it would continue. So I would start from 1 here. So let's run it. It has started and it has incremented to 1, and this condition is not satisfied, so it would print this 1 value. Then again I would be like 2, and then it's not satisfied, so on it would go. When I value after incrementing it was 5, then it wouldn't print. You see there is no 5 here, so because it was executing this continue and it has skipped. So let me also write here, and I would write that. So now 5, it has skipped the value. You can see I have written 5 and 7, it has skipped, because that time it executed this and continue, it won't execute the conditions below, it would directly go here.